All right, y'all. All right. Well, it's been a race week. There was a race. We're starting off this triple header right with some fun and funky racing in España. But before we talk about España, we have got some F1 fashion for you all.
Sure do.
All right, Felicia.
Goof.
Kick us off.
Okay, I'm going to start with my what not to wear because Daniel Ricciardo, why did you drop the bleach while you were doing your laundry and then not wash the pants? He literally looked like he just splashed bleach on the bottom of his pants and said, huzzah.
Honestly, yeah, I think you're real for that. I think you're real for saying that.
I can't stand
questionable
it.
At all times.
At all times. Now, my Project Runway, I am very torn. Because there is one person who I'm not a fan of, but I must say wore his look well this week. The only other person that I know outdressed this person, because they did, is obviously our husband, Lewis. But I must admit, George looked pretty decent in that Tommy Hill figure. I can't
George
lie.
served this week.
He kind of gave it to me this week with the Country Club chic and that Tommy Mercedes drop. Which, by the way, I'm enjoying that Tommy Mercedes drop. It's kind of hit.
I think it's good. This is what I'm saying about George.
Did y'all catch what Mick Schumacher, his Tommy Hill-figure?
No. Send us pics.
Please. Okay, I'll send it to you. It's like a really cute. I actually really want the sweater. It's really cute. Or jumper.
Yeah. I like what George is wearing. I have said this last podcast. I've said it on multiple podcasts. George looks his best when he gives in to the fact that he is an extremely annoying prep boy.
Absolutely.
That is when he looks his best.
Absolutely.
He looks so good when he just does that. It's when he tries to dress like a normal person that I'm like, you're really not doing a good job here.
Not a normal person.
You heard what I said. I do have to say, my Project Runway is Lewis on Quali Day.
I know.
He just wore a very AFSA outfit.
Yeah.
He wore the outfit that I love him to wear.
Of course.
An oversized pant, a little deep V top with a collar, chains, glasses, his little shoes.
Not his little shoes.
He had all of the things I need him to have on. And I love
You're talking about the white linen looking fit, linen. Right?
Yeah,
okay, good.
Clean,
I like this man in linen.
Yeah, clean
he
and
wears
simple.
it well.
Now, my what not to wear, and it's not because it's a horrible outfit, but I saw a funny post about it that I think exemplifies the way that I feel about the outfit.
What?
And it's Lando Norris's outfit that he wore.
Oh, God.
I remember seeing, I can't remember if it was a Twitter post or somebody like put a caption over it on Instagram or Facebook or something, but they said, since when did the F1 paddock turn into a college campus? Because of the way that Oscar is dressed in the background of this photo and the way that Lando is dressed. And Lando gets my what not to wear purely because I do have to agree with them that in my 4 years at the University of Delaware, I have to say that I saw this outfit on just about every football and basketball player walking around that campus trying to get to his Geology 100 class to get that science credit flowing.
Okay? Oh my God, that Science 100.
That Rocks for Jocks. This is the Rocks for Jocks. And he looks fine. He looks perfectly okay.
But it really looks like they're walking across the quad.
But it literally looks like they're walking across the quad. And that's not a problem.
No.
I think that's Lando's whole vibe is that he serves college sophomore. But it reminds me of what I don't like about Lando, which is that he serves college sophomore. I do also have to say, me personally, I would have committed to the all black and worn black shoes.
Yeah.
I think it's really weird that everything else is black and the shoes are tan. That's just me, though. He looks good, though. But I
just love
don't
Oscar
like it.
In the back.
Yeah, Oscar in the back is serving for me. He's serving unbothered king.
Completely.
And the problem is they're serving that they are from the same student org, and one of them was trying to be fashionable. And I think that's just really funny. But yeah, I feel like that's where I stand. Pop off Lewis. Try always. Either slightly more or slightly less Lando.
Well,
so
come on, Bex.
I will say for this week, shocker. No one's outfit actually like truly head to toe offended me this week. There are things I like about everyone, for at least from what I've seen. There are things that I like. There are things that were just like really plain, really regular, like didn't really do much. But there was nothing that was like, oh my gosh, this was so bad. This was so offensive. So I think I'm going to have to give my Project Runway to Daniel because I think his outfit is the most.
Daniel?
What?
Huh?
What did I say?
Daniel?
With the bleached pants?
What did I say?
You said you're giving it to Daniel?
Your Project Runway.
No.
Runway.
Sorry. No.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Don't scare me like that, though.
Okay.
Oh
my bad. Sorry. It's been a long day.
It's okay.
I misspoke.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm giving my what not to wear to Daniel.
Yes.
And I'm actually giving it to him not for the
bleach pants.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to him for like the sweatpant look or whatever. It was just so, I think like it was the most basic outfit I saw, and so he's getting it from me just because it was so blah. It was
this one?
Yeah, it was the most blah out of them all. So that's what he gets. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't anything to write home about. I want to give an honorable mention
to
Lewis Hamilton for the brown
Oh, I like
sweater.
the brown jacket.
I want that sweater so badly. The brown button-up sweater. He wore it with some regular black pants. It wasn't anything to write home, but I really love that sweater, and I really want it.
Good look on him.
I'm going to try and find it because I actually really like it.
Good look.
But
on
the
him.
actual Project Runway, I am going to follow in Alice's footsteps, and I'm going to give it to Lewis in the linen. I think it just works for him, and like always, we love to see a little bit of chest, a little bit of the tattoos. So bravo to you, Lewis. Nothing new.
I would also like to give an honorable mention, since we're talking about Tommy Hilfiger this week, to Lewis in that little Tommy Hilfiger varsity jacket.
No.
You all know how I feel about a varsity jacket. I love
You can
this
have that,
look.
Sweet Pea. You can have that, baby.
I love a little varsity moment. All right. Well, we can get into some F1 news. We have a couple of quick, fun, news sections. And then something very funky and interesting. Yes, I would buy this. How much?
Oh my God!
Wait, how much is it?
$690
for that varsity jacket.
Well, we know Lewis is luxury, so I guess
of course. But
I mean that's basic for him.
That's true.
From what I've seen,
I was looking to see if I could cop it, but I can't, or I won't do that to myself,
baby.
Yeah. All right. So first piece of F1 news. It has to do with contracts, of course. Logan Sargent may have been signed by the Prema IndyCar team. So we might see Logan make a jump over to IndyCar.
Is there another team coming on the grid?
IndyCar, maybe. IndyCar.
Jesus. Okay, yes.
IndyCar.
IndyCar? No. Got you. Go ahead.
For reference, in case this hasn't been covered, IndyCar, think of it basically as a less European version of F1, more American version of F1. They have lots of different other things that distinct them from each other, but for all intents and purposes, that's what's going down.
That's a long and short.
Yeah. So, with Logan leaving, that might give some corroboration to the Carlos to Williams rumors. Although there are new rumors that Carlos may go to Alpine.
If this is true and this is Logan's, move, I just hope it's a successful endeavor for him. Because there's nothing, I can't, at least personality-wise, there's nothing offensive about Logan. And I do want to root for him. I think he maybe got pushed too quickly and I know he wasn't ready for F1. And then also being stuck in a poorly made Williams car. Like it just, so I do wish him well, and I hope that if he is making that move that he is successful.
We all know that Logan is my sweet baby angel, so
Yeah.
I do want him to be successful. I do not want to see any more Olivia Rodrigo edits. I want to see success edits from you, Logan. No more Olivia Rodrigo Lacey edits.
Okay.
But I'm also just hoping that hopefully we can close out this Carlos Sainz saga, because every single week we're like, he's about to announce. He's been about to announce for about 2 months. About 2 months he's been on the verge of announcing. So I'm ready. To be honest, I don't even care where he goes. I just want us to stop talking about it.
Okay.
And then also too, I think once Carlos gets his butt in a seat for next year, other pieces start to fall into place.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Now, what I do have to say is I think Alpine would be insane if you signed Carlos Sainz.
Why?
If what they want is peace in their team. If you drop Esteban Ocon because there was no peace and harmony in your team, and you think Carlos Sainz's camp is going to bring you peace and harmony, you ain't been paying enough attention. That is some of the most disharmonious, unpeaceful people I've ever seen in my life in this F1 paddock.
And this
girl, they love nothing more than beefing with somebody.
Oh my God.
This weekend was example enough.
Exactly. They were wilding.
Prime form this weekend.
They were wilding out. And you think that's going to mesh well with Pierre? With Pierre? I remember the last time Pierre and Carlos had an on-track altercation. The beef lasted for days and days and days. People calling each other out in interviews. Pobrecito, don't touch me. It was a whole thing. We don't need that inside the team.
Oh
you
my
can't
God.
Pobrecito people inside the team.
Pobrecito.
Okay? It's too shady for inside the team. So I think if they want peace in their home, they'll
leave Carlos alone.
They'll leave that man alone. And they'll just take Jack Doohan's little self or Mick Schumacher. Sweet little Mick Schumacher. You don't want no troubles? Just take sweet little Mick.
Take the little baby angel.
And keep it going. And get some German money. Speaking of German money, there are apparently rumors out of Italy, according to this random tweet from Sergio RF97, who I believe is some sort of F1 journalist person. You know, that's my understanding of who this person is.
Okay.
And let me exactly read you what it says.
Okay.
Sorry, so his name is Sergio Rodriguez. He is an F1 football and motorsport journalist.
Okay.
His post says, rumors coming from Italy. New Zealand flag, German flag. Hashtag F1. That's the whole tweet. Now,
say that one more time.
Rumors coming from Italy.
Yes.
New Zealand flag,
yes.
German flag. Hashtag F1.
Okay, never mind. What I thought isn't where it's
now,
going.
We have a couple things that could be going down here.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
One, Liam Lawson to Audi. German team.
Okay.
2, Liam Lawson to Mercedes. German team.
Okay.
Or 3, Liam Lawson to drive alongside Nico Hülkenberg. German driver. Which, the first and third statement are the same thing, to be clear.
I mean,
he also notably, to my understanding, Liam Lawson is the only New Zealander with a 10-foot pole near F1. So I'm pretty sure this can only refer to him.
Okay.
The haters can drag me if I'm wrong.
Interesting.
Just say it.
There's nothing for me to say. I don't really know what. I mean, like, I feel like, okay, I'm informed. I don't actually, because I don't know anything. Too flat on a tweet, and everyone's write a dissertation on it. Like, hey, we don't know. 2 flags, 2 emojis, basically. But I think I will say, would be intrigued by seeing a new driver on the grid, and I think Liam Lawson, could. He seems like he's a good driver.
Spice it up a little bit.
I would be intrigued by him being an Audi because it'd be a new team, young driver. That could be interesting. I
coming in making a splash.
Don't want it to be sort of like a Liam Lawson Mercedes type of deal because I don't know. Mercedes seems to be just like, I don't know what's going on with Mercedes between last week. I mean, they did a little bit better this week, but I think I would like a young driver to go into a solid team, established team. Obviously Mercedes is an established team, but they don't seem solid. They seem a mess. Like there's no stability. Like week after week, you really don't know what's going on with the Mercedes. So I would love for a young driver to be on a more stable team. To be honest, I don't even know if that's Audi either. Because who knows? No one really knows what Audi's going to be, Audi's going to look like on the grid. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I hope whatever he chooses something that will, pay off in the end for him. If you feel
agreed.
Well,
Liam, I hope that the rumors about you, because I want you in a seat, because I want you to show the people how much you deserve that RB seat. With all that said, I believe that we have to move on to arguably the biggest piece of news from this weekend. The anonymous Mercedes sabotage.
Thanks. That's why he looks so excited.
For some reason, I had no idea what she was talking about. I was like, what's the biggest thing?
You were so confused and then so excited.
Well, no, I was like, those two fighting. I was like, won't we talk about that during the race? But then she's like, the email. I was like, I forgot.
Yes. Now, to be clear, viewers, on our last race recap, me and Bex were slanging some serious accusations at the people.
Yes.
I want to be clear, just in case the police that they send come looking for us, me nor Bex ain't write that email. However, somebody did write that email.
Well,
listen, I didn't write it, but I hope and pray that one of these days we find out who did, so that I can give them a round of applause. Stand up and take your bow, my friend.
Now, there is
the
critical
context in the email.
Oh, there are so many pieces of context that make this email even better.
Okay.
So, firstly, this email was sent from an anonymous email address. We do not know the exact email address, but it is described as an email address mocking George Russell. I'm sorry. It used a name that defamed Hamilton's teammate, George Russell. Now, here are some of the claims that are made in this email. One, that the person penning it is an employee. First claim made in the email.
Wait, a Mercedes employee?
Yes, they are claiming that it was a Mercedes employee who wrote this email. They are also claiming that Lewis Hamilton is being sabotaged from a strategic point of view, from a technical point of view, the tires, his mental health, all of it being sabotaged.
God damn.
They are claiming that Toto favors lover boy George.
He does.
That is the exact wording that was used.
Good.
And they're basically saying that this sabotage could be deadly to Lewis.
Oh.
For his mental health and many other reasons. Now, Lewis said, I ain't hear about the email. I kept pushing. Toto said that they have already contacted the police and that they are hunting down who did this. Toto believes that it's a erratic fan and not a Mercedes employee. Now, what is essential and so critical is the recipient list of this email. Because the recipient list of this email is the exact same recipient list of the Christian Horner leak. My people,
I see.
We may just have an inside gossip girl inside the paddock putting in work. Okay?
Good Lord's work. The Lord's
Good
work.
Lord's work. Congrats to you, anonymous person.
Epic. That would be epic.
Congrats to you, anonymous person. I really hope that they don't find you. If Christian Horner's lawyers couldn't find you, I don't see why Toto's can. So, fingers crossed. Now, what I will say, and obviously, you know, this is a Daily Mail situation that's reporting on this because it's all still tabloidy, is that sources close to the scene feel that this is accurate. That's what the streets are saying, is that inside F1 sources agree with said email. So,
listen, I am not close to the situation. I'm not an inside source, but I believe it's real.
Well,
also, George tried to say that I don't look on Instagram or Twitter.
That's a lie.
We all know that's a lie. George, we remember your tweet immediately after Abu Dhabi 2021. You stay lingering on Twitter, George. You stay on Twitter, okay? We know you saw it, George. And that's okay. That's okay.
I know.
Well,
I will call out, didn't Lewis say the exact same thing this weekend as well?
What?
Yes.
That he's not on social media.
That he's not on social media, that he immediately was lingering on social media right after the race.
You post like...
That's...
race, especially race weekends, he posts a plethora.
Exactly. He was lingering, he was trolling on Twitter. We're going to get into Lewis's actions on Twitter because it has sent my people into a frenzy.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about what he did this weekend that sent my people into a frenzy. It's been a great weekend for my people. My people have been winning all weekend. Alrighty. Well, with that, we can get into recapping the Formula One Aramco Gran Premio de España, also known as the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya.
Ooh.
This track was first utilized in 1991. It runs 66 laps for 4.65 kilometers per lap, and the lap record was for Max in 2023 with a 116.33. Now, it's a normal race weekend, so we have quali, and then we have the race.
Yes.
First thing that I noted about qualifying
is
that Sergio Perez had a 3-place grid penalty, and I would like us to ask, and really I'm asking, how the fuck did Red Bull get away with essentially doing reverse Crashgate and getting a position penalty as their reprimand? For those who don't know, Crashgate is when, I believe it's Renault, might have been McLaren, but I think it's Renault, made Nelson Piquet crash and cause a safety car to win Fernando Alonso a race. Last race, at the Canadian GP, Red Bull did the exact flip-flop where they forced Checo to drive back a dangerous car to the pits to avoid a safety car and make sure Max would win. Reverse Crashgate. And they got a grid drop for it. And hey, my baby won. So, I'm not too much. Not too much. Yeah. Keep that mouth shut, Bex. Not too much. Not too much on him. But not too much on Max.
Anyway,
I think that's just kind of crazy. Like, I'm still actually shocked that nobody put up that much of a fuss about that happening.
I know, I was surprised too, because Toto stays ready to line up Red Bull and Christian Horner, but he didn't.
Exactly.
So,
no, right?
Maybe growth?
No.
Maybe growth. Or maybe just
Definitely
acceptance.
not.
Or maybe he had a hard weekend and was just not trying to bring any more drama.
He had a hard weekend trying to think of how many ways he could attempt to deny that one of his own employees sent it.
Well, he had a lot on his mind.
He had a lot on his mind.
I know he was, and I think I will say, really quickly, doubling back to that email. One thing, the whole thing about Toto, he's like, we're going to get the police. We've already contacted the police. We won't tolerate this online abuse. And I was like, calm down. It's not abuse. It may be lies, but it's not quite abuse.
Yeah. You're thinking libel, slander, not abuse. Like, quite frankly, the email is disparaging to George. Like, the email is no more disparaging to George than the Mercedes comment section. If you want to protect him from online abuse, turn off your Instagram comments.
Well, I just want to say, I don't think what was said was anything worse than you'd see on Twitter. Actually, Twitter may be worse.
Twitter would be worse.
It's worse.
Twitter would
It's worse. It's worse. It's worse for Georgia out there. I can tell you that.
Exactly.
It's worse for Georgia out there. Like the email is the least of your concerns. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really understand how they got away with reverse Crashgate. Maybe somebody will complain in 16 years, like Felipe Massa. And I would also like to say, oh, sorry, what's that?
No, what was the result of Crashgate?
Was that Alonso won the championship?
But did they get penalized?
Alonso won the race. I think Lewis ended up something like that.
But they got penalized for it?
They got something bad happened to them. I can look up for you what happened to them.
Okay.
As a result,
I just want to compare what it,
Okay, 1 second. Blah 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 blah. Crashgate. They were disqualified from Formula One for how long? Yeah, they were handed a disqualification. Maybe like they were. Yeah, I guess they were like disqualified or something
from the race.
Well, I don't think my understanding is that they basically took away like constructors' points because they.
It was sort of Crashgate came to like later on, right? It was like it's been.
Oh, okay, no. So they actually didn't get
penalized,
like actual penalty. Like the team didn't. It was just like the team principal and like the people who were in charge. Flavio Briatore got suspended indefinitely, although I think a French court overturned that one. But basically, Renault faced suspended permanent disqualification, meaning that if they fucked up again within 2 years, they would be permanently disqualified from Formula One. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, like you can't piss off the FIA for 2 years.
No.
Yeah.
So I see why people would be a little bit.
Where it's like last time you launched a whole investigation, you suspended team principals.
Yeah. And this is just 3 grid penalty.
This will not matter. Yeah.
Wow.
Team.
Okay.
But yeah, I felt that was kind of the most perplexing thing to me about qualifying. And then my note, because Lando did end up getting pole. Congrats to Lando. But my thing was, let's stop trying to make Lando happen. Okay. And I say this in this regard, not because Lando's bad, but because I don't think that every good race weekend means you're a future world champion.
No.
I think that is the problem with the way that the British commentate on Lando, is that every good thing Lando does means that he's a future Lewis Hamilton. And I'm like, that's simply not true.
Well,
like, simply put, no. Simply put, no. And I think that's what gets me with Lando. Okay. Truly, I know that I spend a lot of this pod ragging on Lando, and at least 98% of it is justified and deserved.
But they are very excited about Lando.
They are very excited about Lando. And all I have to say to that is, not every time that you get pole means you're a world champion. We don't give out points for pole.
Yep.
As evidenced by the start of the race, you don't get points for pole.
Nope.
And you can always tell who's been there and done that. Because there's some of them who, they get pole and you think that they want a race.
Yeah.
Even though I will say he's gotten a little less excitable each pole he's gotten, I will say that. But
this is the second one.
Oh, yeah.
He's only gotten pole in Sochi, where he fucked up with the tires.
Okay.
Where he again fucked up with the tires.
Wow. Okay. She tried to give the boy something. Damn.
It's so harsh. This poor little boy.
We're age mates. It's how.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all are age mates.
You are age mates.
But yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I think, to be honest, he showed his age and his lack of experience in the post-quali press conference with Max and Lewis. It was.
I did not see that. What happened?
I actually was embarrassed for him. Like, they asked him a question. Well, they asked him, like, what is, like, who do you who gets the credit, like the car or the driver, or is it both? Something along those lines. I don't remember.
Yes, that's exactly what they asked him.
Okay, and he said driver, and then he put his microphone down, and then
Max and Lewis bust out laughing with his ass.
Max and Lewis kind of made a look and kind of giggled, and he was like, I mean, both. He's like, I don't know, and then they asked him like, Lewis, do you have anything you want to add? And Lewis was like, no. And then no one asked him a thing else. And then Lando picked up the mic and started talking, and then started rambling. And then at one point, Lewis takes a selfie of them, all while he's talking. And then Lando is still talking, and Lewis does like a wrap it up type of hand signal, like, "Hey, let's go." And then Max and Lewis just do like quick looks at each other and start giggling like little mean girls. And I felt sorry for him because he was like, I'm like, just stop talking. Stop talking. And at some point he was like, I don't know. I'm like, if you don't know, stop. He kept saying that, and he just kept talking. It was like 2 minutes for a simple answer. He said driver. I don't know why he just didn't leave it alone. I think he just wasn't.
He felt embarrassed because they laughed.
Well, not even. They didn't really laugh. It just no one said anything, and it was like
they kind of laughed. There's a shot of Max's head thrown back laughing.
No, but it just felt like I feel like if Lewis would have answered, they would have laughed. He would have been like, oh well, and then he would have left the question alone.
Yeah.
But Lando sort of, I don't know, I don't want to diagnose people or, but I don't know, I just felt like he felt a little insecure on his answer, and that these 2 world championships were sitting beside him, and he just like, oh, I want to hang out with the big kids.
It was a very funny moment. And we're gonna circle back to that moment. We're gonna circle back to that moment
a little bit.
No, you didn't jump the gun at all. It's just that what you were talking about has to do with the way that my people are up.
Okay.
My people are up this weekend. All right. Well, that's all I had for Quali. Any other crazy Quali thoughts from the baddies?
No.
All right. Well, we're gonna get right into the start of the
Bex.
Lewis outqualified George.
Yes. All of a sudden. All of a sudden.
We see you.
Those tires were warm. Those tires were my temperature this weekend, weren't they?
Damn near hot.
Looks like those tire blankets actually worked this weekend.
Oh, yeah. They were plugged in.
It's funny what happens when someone releases a little email, calls you out in the bull.
Shaking in their britches. Shaking in their britches.
Shivering.
Quivering, quaking.
Anyways, we get to the start of the race. And I gotta say, it is much easier to give George his flowers when I know that Lewis did not get screwed the way that George did at the end of the race. So I'm gonna give George his flowers for that start. Right at the start, we see Lando and Max. They're sort of evenly alongside each other. And Lando, who is not used to starting from first, forgets the critical part of starting from first, which is you have to cover all your bases.
I thought it was you had to go. No. Like Lando, it seemed like Lando just really did not understand where he was.
Yeah. Because as you can see it when you're on the thing. But Max, he's jetting ahead. Lando's trying to cover off Max and get close to Max to force him to not go ahead.
Yes.
But Lando didn't use his little brainy poo. And think about the fact that means you left the whole left side of the track wide
open. Wide open.
And you screwed over yourself, Max, and Lewis.
Yep.
To let George's bitch ass slide right on through. Easy. Easy.
He made it look real easy, too. He slid right through there.
He gave him the biggest window I've ever seen in my life.
He slid right through there.
And you know what? That one mistake by Lando actually screwed everyone.
Everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
It screwed them because who you had. Like, I don't know why you're giving George credit.
I'm only giving George a little bit of credit for seeing the opening and taking it.
He was pissing me off. Because I just want to get out the way. Get out of the way. You aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and the people behind you can. So get out of the way. Especially because y'all know I don't want Max to win. And George wasn't going to be of any threat. So get your slow behind out of the way, because you can't do anything, you can't accomplish anything, and let the people behind you. Hell, Lando could have caught up to Max. Lando, who knows? We could have seen Max and Lando go at it, and Lando may have been able to catch up. And
we could have.
Well, that's
what's the one thing that Lando loves to do? Choke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kind of had to like draw back a little bit, because I was like, that's putting a little bit too much dip on his chip. But I will say that was my thing. That was the thing for me. I just wanted George out of the way. I mean, obviously he did get out of the way. Well, yes, but he
was moved out of the way.
I just feel like that one mistake by Lando. Ugh. Someone else could have won.
It was a choice,
Max, if Lando doesn't make that mistake.
Oh, 100%. 10 toes down, somebody else could have won that race if Lando didn't.
Wow.
Lando could have won that race if Lando had just covered off the sides.
I mean,
Yeah. But he would have had more options.
Yeah, definitely.
My next point about this race is jumping the gun a little bit, but since we're already talking about Lando, we might as well keep talking about Lando. After Sochi, where Lando saw the torrential downpour and still refused to change his tires to wet weather tires.
Oh my God.
The fact that McLaren ever put a tire decision in Lando's hands ever again is questionable to me. How you hear this man don't got no good tire strategy sense. Tell you, no, I want to extend, there's no point in pitting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen to him. You listen to that man. You're insane. You're crazy. Because guess what? The whole, I'm going to outlast, I'm going to this, I'm going to that, only works if you can still maintain decent pace compared to the people who just pitted. Max was doing like 9/10 of a lap after lap better. At that point, you should have told him, shut the fuck up and come into the pits. When that first outlap was looking dangerous like that,
oh my God,
shut the hell up and come into the pits. I don't know why they keep giving him tire authority. What do you pay a strategist for?
I was just about to say the exact thing. Why do you have a strategist if you're just going to have Lando call the shot? Like, and
it's not like you have a Lewis or a Checo or whatever who, like, they are really good at tires making it work so they can meld to your strategy, and they also have a really, really good feel for the tires, and they are not ruled by the stress of, like, I want to win. Uh-huh. They're thinking about the win, but they're not trapped by the win. Uh-huh. Whereas it's like, for Lando, it was almost like he was trapped by the fact that he could win, that he didn't want to, like, leave it up to a little mixy situation. And it wasn't until I feel like it locked in for him that, like, oh, I'm literally losing time, that he was like, okay, fine, I'll just have to try and overtake. And it's like, you probably wouldn't have had to, quote-unquote, try and overtake if you had pitted sooner. That 2 seconds he lost by, baby, you were losing 9/10 a lap for 7 fucking laps.
Yeah, he was.
There's your 2 seconds.
And it was just like, especially when you saw like waves of drivers go into the pit, and you're just like, why is Lando?
Charles and Lando.
Why is he still out there? Why? Maybe it's just me, and maybe I don't have that dog instinct. But if I see everybody else on the grid doing something, right? I'm going to try and use my brain and say, well, why are they doing something that I'm not? Mm-hmm. What, like, really, like, just really assess the situation. And also, like, ask. Like, I feel like Lando just makes decisions and then doesn't really, like, have the full picture, and that's another aspect of what leads to like his poor decision. He doesn't really fully get the full picture of the grid and what's going on, and he just was like, no, I feel like this, so this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they're leaving tire strategy up to Lando after the last time they left tire strategy up to Lando.
I don't know.
But why would they have let him stay out there with non-wet tires?
Oh, at Sochi, it was because... So, wet weather is a little bit different in the sense that, like, there is what the Doppler is saying is happening. Mm-hmm. There is how much rain you can see. And then there's the actual conditions that impact the grip of the track. For example, a hot summer rain, you might be able to stay out on slicks a little bit longer. Okay. And if it's like the middle, like if it's like March and the first race is a wet race and it's 30 degrees outside, you're going to be sliding around because the track might as well be an ice rink.
Yes.
So there is good reason to listen to the drivers when it is a wet weather race. Gotcha. Sochi is a unique case where, like, and I implore you to go look at, I think it's Sochi 2021. I implore you to go look at those highlights because it was abundantly clear.
Oh, God.
That even people on Inters were struggling for grip on that goddamn track.
Oh, my God.
But he didn't want to pit and lose position. He was leading the race. He didn't want to pit. He was like, no, I can make it until the track, because the track was quote-unquote starting to dry up. I don't think the track was actually drying up. And he's like, no, I can go a couple more laps, blah, 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 to, like, build a gap. And then he slid right off the racetrack and let Lewis take the lead. It was sad. It was very sad. Very sad for him. But once again, some people are tire whisperers. Some people are race pace dudes. Some people are qualifying guys. Some people are overtake masters. You gotta know what your guy is. Now, what is Lando? I'm not the right one to say.
Okay.
But he has a niche, and you should use him for that niche. That
Whatever
niche is
that
not
be.
Tires. We know the niche isn't tires. So definitely don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So tragic. We do have to talk about some amazing overtakes.
Yes.
Maximilian Verstappen.
Yes.
Lewis.
Hamilton.
I'm trying to remember his middle name.
Oh, I don't know.
Anthony.
He's named after the motorcycle guy. Or he's named after somebody. David Dan.
I thought it was like
Not David.
That is Anthony. My bad.
Oh.
His name is
Carl Davidson. Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton and Max Emilian Verstappen. I know you're laughing. His father named him Maximilian and split the Max and the Emilian into separate names. Amazing overtakes. Beautiful gowns.
Wait,
Beautiful
that's his government names?
Those are their government names.
No.
Max Emilian Verstappen.
Oh my God.
And Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton.
I just saw that.
Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton.
I did not know that about Max's name. That's hilarious.
I jokingly called him Maximilian and then was informed by a Twitter of what was down. Way back in the day.
That is hilarious.
Yep. But they both had amazing overtakes. We saw some great wheel-to-wheel from Max. We saw some amazing wheel-to-wheel from Lewis, passing Carlos twice. And it was great. It was great. Oh, it was great. But yeah, congrats. Finally some good overtakes. And I love to see it on the track. That's the kind of things I want to see from Max and Lewis.
Yes.
Speaking of Lewis and his overtakes, we do have, we normally have driver of the day. And we normally have a race winner. Today, I would like to introduce crier of the day. Carlos Sainz, who would not shut the fuck up.
He was first, upset.
We have Carlos crashing. Crashing is a strong word. Love tapping Charles on the first lap.
Wow.
And then complaining and saying, Charles hit him. Even though when you look at the footage, it's abundantly clear that Carlos turned directly into Charles.
Oh, well.
Then we have Lewis making a beautiful, amazing wheel-by-wheel, side-by-side, flowing overtake. They had a little bit of a brush, but nothing crazy.
A tap.
Of course, Carlos is on the radio. He pushed me.
Give me the position.
Oh yeah, you should give me my position back.
And then when he didn't get the penalty, I guess we just don't use the rule book anymore.
Now that's
what was it? Why do we have a rule book
Look,
if we don't follow it?
It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. And then Lewis passed it again.
Somebody is right message, wrong messenger. Because I understand, but not from you.
But not from you. And the thing is, I'm not even mad when they cry on the radio.
Yeah,
we're Lewis fans. I think we'd be a little bit hypocritical if we said they shouldn't cry on the radio.
Well,
no,
but
I find it entertaining.
But Carlos, he just cries about everything. And then the gall, the gumption, and the nerve for Carlos to get into post-interview, post-race, and talk shit about Charles. Saying Charles is always complaining about something after the race. What's he complaining about now?
What about
Yeah,
okay.
And it was so funny. Someone was like, or it might have just been a tweet. Someone like, but you were just complaining about Lewis, like in the same interview.
Yeah,
you were just complaining about Lewis, and then you turn around and like, oh, he's always complaining about something. I'm great.
Yeah. Now Charles did have a funny little clip from his interview where he essentially said, let me see if I can find the quote. He said that he understood why, here we go. So we have a couple of quotes. The fight was not fair, but above all, not just in that moment, because of the time when we knew we both had to save tires, especially in that last corner. I saved as I had to in the last corner, but Carlos didn't save at all. There was no need to take this risk, taking the corner as if it wasn't there. He damaged my left wing, which cost us time. We will talk. Right? Cool. They had like a very heated exchange in the pit lane, where it was clear they were yapping. And then my sweet, sweet Charles said, it's also his home Grand Prix. I think it's an important moment for his career. He wanted to do something spectacular, but it wasn't the time.
No, shady, Charles.
Okay.
Shady.
All right, Charles.
And
okay,
Charles, talk your shit, throw your shade.
And it was so funny. I'm not gonna lie. The little clip of like Charles and Carlos getting into it, and then there's Valtteri just always front row seat at like all the little tips.
Oh my god!
Better standing there.
Yeah, just crazy. But yeah,
I like a little catty back and forth.
I love a little catty back and forth.
For it.
I still think about that back and forth between George and Max after George put a hole in Max's Red Bull, where he's like, "Next time, mate, expect the fucking same." I still love that. That was great. I thought about that for months. That was fantastic.
When they drop the politeness and actually like really like say how they feel, I'm like, respect.
Talk your shit. I like it. I need F1 to be a little bit more like NASCAR. I don't need y'all ripping your front wings off and throwing them at each other's cars.
No, if that happened, it would make my day. It would.
Whoever did it, I would be forced to stand. I would be forced to stand.
I don't even care who it is. It could be it would probably be Fernando. But yeah, like I would love to see. This probably is not the best thing to say, but I wouldn't mind some hands being thrown like NASCAR when they just run up on each other and just start swinging.
We all know on this podcast how I feel about them throwing hands. I feel positively. The whole way that I even got into Max Verstappen was watching him almost punch Esteban Ocon in the face. I was like, that's my driver right there.
Oh my god!
You talk bad about his family. About to pop him.
Oh, is that why he almost? He
was saying that so Esteban like did the whole thing on track where he like made Max like crash a little bit, and Max was coming up to confront him, and then Esteban apparently said something about his family, and then Max was on him. Right,
of course.
And I love that. Throw hands more often. I think some of y'all need a little slap. Some of y'all need a little fisticuff. And it's not like the NASCAR drivers are doing permanent damage or anything. They just do a little one-two. You guys got strong necks. Better use them.
They do have strong necks.
Strong necks. You gotta use them for something.
Yeah.
But with all of that said, good race. I thought it was a good fun time. We have Max on the top step, Lando in second, and Lewis Hamilton in his first podium of the year.
Yes.
After they stopped sabotaging him, which actually, we're going to circle back to the race in a second, but Lewis got third.
Yes.
I do have to say, I was greatly surprised, and what I think lends itself to a little bit of conspiracy. I was greatly surprised that they absolutely shafted George by putting him on the hards. It was well established. That those hards are the hardest in the whole spectrum. They're the hardest tires you physically can bring to a race, and those are the ones that they put George on, knowing damn well all the other top drivers were about to probably be put onto another set of mediums or another set of softs.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that they were going to put Lewis onto a set of softs.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through and specifically checked George's radio. Because normally, if this happened, one of two things would have been true.
Mm-hmm.
That George asked for a kooky, crazy strategy that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Or that George would be put on a shit strategy and then complain about it. Neither occurred.
Didn't he ask why he was on the hards?
No. I went and ran through his radio. George never complained or asked why he was on hards. Now, I'm not going to say that's because George knew they needed to calm the people a little bit this week. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of conspiracy.
Oh, it may have been the commentator I heard talk about the hards.
Yeah, because it was utterly ridiculous for them to put him on hards. He was screwed the moment they did that. They screwed George bad.
Wow.
Which was surprising, but not unwelcome by me, of course.
Never.
Because it guaranteed Lewis being in third.
Where he belongs.
There
and above.
Yes.
I said there and above.
Absolutely. Now, I do have to say, we are now finally getting to the portion of the race where I explain why my people are up. And by my people, I mean the Max and Lewis joint combo stands. We were fed this weekend. We can start with post-quali. Beck's already talked about it. Haha, funny. We love to see it. We can then move on to post-race. We had so many good interactions. First good interaction on the podium. Everybody's friends. Everybody loves it. Second good interaction, and this might not be in chronological order because I don't know when this happened. I only saw the pictures of their hands. I thought it was very, very funny that Lewis walked up to Lando and Max. I think it was directly post-race. Gave Lando a handshake, like a good gentlemanly handshake, and then dapped up Max.
He said, "What's up, my guy?"
Exactly. What's up, my dude? I thought that was really, really funny. And then, of course, we have the post-race interview where Lewis is playing Bob Marley on his phone, laid out on the couch, comatose, and Max and him come in and have a good little kiki.
I loved him saying he missed being on the sofa. I was like, you belong on the sofa.
Yes. Anybody who is experienced in the Max-Lewis interactions knows that this is the time of year. I like to call it Max and Lewis summer. If you do not know, Max and Lewis generally start out the season decently tepid with each other, friendly, but nothing to write home about. Over the summer, they get into like some sort of fantastic mood. I don't really know what it is. Late spring to midsummer, they're in a great mood where they're all buddy-buddy. They're, celebrating on the podium. They're like holding on to each other. They're dapping each other up. It's all butterflies and rainbows. I promise you. Come Silverstone, somebody's going to say some shady-ass comment in an interview, and it's all going to be over. Like clockwork, every year, one of them throws a stray right around Silverstone.
Oh, God.
And it's all over after that.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to lie. I prefer that period of time. I don't like this time. Okay. You Max fans, you like it. I don't. I want Lewis to fully recognize who are the ops and to treat them accordingly.
Well, you got to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. He's strategizing.
Actually, Dex, we can talk about Lewis and recognizing things. Because you brought up earlier that Lewis took a selfie of him, Lando, and Max. And Lewis did actually post this selfie to Twitter. And you know what prompted Lewis to post this selfie to Twitter? My favorite Max Lewis Stan account, at 4433thinker on Twitter.
Okay.
Tweeted out, "We need the trilogy." Because every time that Lewis has qualified top 3, he takes a selfie. And Lewis quote tweeted that tweet from 4433 Thinker, shout out Gordy Pop.
Okay.
To post the tweet. So he sees us. He sees us. And he knows that we ride hard for Louis. Yes, that quote tweet. Go look at the tweet it's responding to.
Let's see.
What does this prove?
Lewis posted the selfie, I beg.
From?
Yeah.
The Twitter account?
4433.
Thank you. My moot on Twitter. Thank you, Mooty. You did a great job.
He only posted it under, he had to be prompted to post it.
Lewis has had to be prompted to post each of these selfies.
Whatever.
Well.
I don't care. All I say is when they're all buddies.
Someone said Lewis Hamilton follows you on his burner.
I like it when they're at each other's throats. It makes for
trust me, I love it when they're at each other's throats too.
Delectable viewer. As for me, it makes for a delectable watching.
I love it when they're at each other's throats too. Trust and believe. I love a little shady comment from either camp.
Wow.
I prefer when they're the ones making shady comments. I don't like when their people make shady comments about each other.
Yeah,
that's lame bitch behavior. I'd much prefer Max and Lewis to slander each other directly in the press.
I always hate it when Max's dad gets involved. It's just like, shut up.
For real.
And also, too, I don't like it when, one thing I actually really hate is when Toto and Christian are going against, almost on behalf. Because it ends up no one really likes either of you two. Shut up. Go sit down somewhere.
Yeah. Well, because that's exactly what happened in 2021. Where I feel like a lot of people don't remember that all of Toto and Christian's foolishness about Silverstone, Max and Lewis were friends.
They were friends.
Most of the footage, I'll send you a thread. Most of the footage of Max and Lewis being friendly is years worth of footage of Lewis being Max is the next great champion, Lewis being Max being Lewis is so amazing, he's a hero, all this kind of stuff. It was only the bullshit from their teams in 2021 that turned them sour for a year.
Lewis,
really,
Toto, and Christian, it got real bad, real nasty, to the point where I don't even think Max and Lewis ever they weren't talking, they weren't acknowledging each other. It was really weird. It just got bad really quickly.
When they notably were friends previous, and they appear to have fixed it.
They did for the most part. There was anything specific that happened between them two. It seemed like it was a team situation, and they just kind of fell in line.
That's so unfortunate.
It's really not. I prefer it. I just didn't like
Bex.
I just didn't like that it was through Christian and Toto. That's the only thing I know.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Bex, when asked who he thinks the greatest F1 drivers of all time are, Max put Lewis on his list.
Of course, as he should. How could you not?
No, Bex. I'm just saying, Bex.
He gets no points from me.
That's okay. Well, that is what I have for you as far as F1 content. I do have to say, I wish that I had a fun little segment for us at the end of this, but my brain has been absolutely captivated and enraptured by Love Island USA.
Okay.
Absolutely enraptured. Me and Bex have been watching. We're trying to get Felicia to watch.
Give me a non-spoiler reason to watch this season.
Non-spoiler reason to watch. Somebody tried to drown themselves in the pool because they were arguing with their girl.
And that's your non-spoiler reason to watch. Admitted that she's actually a bad person.
Oh,
and that she likes guys. Wait, what did she like?
I got the quote. Okay. She said that she needs a man who makes her feel like she needs to be admitted to a psych ward.
There you go.
Bitch, what?
That's why you need to watch. Girl, they're crazy this season, and it's amazing. Now.
Bitch. Nugget.
What?
Odell Beckham Jr.'s brother's on there. Do you have any idea who Odell Beckham Jr. is?
Yes, Bex. Jesus Christ.
Listen, not everybody has, the depth of sports knowledge like I do, so I have to sometimes check.
Just checking. But yes, those are all great reasons. And with that, I give you my closing question inspired by Love Island USA, which is, what F1 driver do you think would be the most likely to say, I want a partner that makes me feel like I need to be put into a psych ward?
Easy.
Go ahead.
Is it not?
Go ahead.
I think it's Lewis.
It is Lewis, which is why I said nothing, because
I actually thought
that's why we both said nothing.
The question I thought you were going to ask was, which F1 driver do you think would jump in the pool and try to drown themselves?
I thought I asked that last week.
Huh?
I thought I could have swore that I asked that last week or 2 weeks ago.
You
and
may
I asked that
have.
last week, and our answer was Lewis as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Lewis. Okay, maybe you did.
Lewis is both Leah and Rob in this situation. I think
He
it's like,
really is.
he really is.
Oh my god.
He is someone who is like so dramatic when they're in love, but also loves that like struggle, toxic. Oh,
I think that Nicole and Nico are enough proof of that by itself.
yes.
The way that
I need
Lewis
to
was
see
so
the
heavy
video
with the
footage
pool.
of this. I need the song.
The song?
What song?
You said he was singing. Wasn't he singing?
He was singing a Pussycat Dolls song.
We sent it to you on WhatsApp. We sent it to you on WhatsApp.
It's a Pussycat Doll or a Nicole or one Nicole.
It was, oh my god, what song was it? Oh my gosh, Stuck With You or something like that?
Oh.
Oh my god. No, he
I think it's
wasn't.
Stuck With You by the Pussycat Dolls.
It might have been.
I'm gonna go look for it. It's fine. I'll go look for it.
But yeah,
No,
we all
but-
all the stuff you sent.
No, but he was like in what song?
Wait, where was he singing this song?
he was like in his
He was
driver's
like
seat.
in the paddock.
Girl, it's
No, Stick
embarrassing.
With You. That's what he was singing.
Stick with you. It's really embarrassing.
And the caption is, Nicole used to sing this to me. Such a beautiful song.
That man was wow. It was something for sure.
Oh, he was in the depths of hell.
Yes.
Yeah, he said
That was sorrow that man was
good
feeling.
times. Good times. That's what he said. Good times.
Anyway, Felicia, you need to go watch Love Island.
I'll think about it, see how I feel.
No, don't think.
No, don't
Just
think.
gotta do. Don't think.
I will say the first few episodes always are a struggle for any Love Island season. It's a struggle to kind of get through, especially the first one because they spend so much time on introductions. But
Yeah.
once you get to like episode 4,
Oh, I think even on this one, honestly, once you get to episode 3,
yeah, the
they
crazy
start wilding out almost immediately.
like you can't even come up for air. It's just crazy.
Every episode has been chaos.
It makes you actually think about it. Like, I'm actually doing pretty good.
Yeah, for real.
It
I ain't never had a man send me to the psych ward, so clearly I'm on the up.
I've never craved one to do it either.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know, I've never had a man try and drown himself over me. Don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but never had one do
So
it.
true.
So.
So true. Well, ladies, viewers, as you know, we need you to help spread this podcast. So please do rate, please do review, please do subscribe. And send this to the person that you think would drown themselves over you. And if that was the prompt that I gave last time,
it wasn't.
send it to the person
Or maybe it was.
who you think would send you to a psych ward if they were to date you. Because they should also listen to this podcast and know who they are and know that you're calling them out.
Yes.
So, with that, next week, we do have another Grand Prix because we're in the middle of a triple header. It's about to be crazy and chaotic up in here. And we got Austria next week, so Felicia, have a fun time learning about track limits, because you're going to need to for this next race. And it's supposed to thunderstorm.
Ooh.
So we're about to
I like the
it's a
wet
sprint
race.
weekend, so it's about to be a time.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. The reason why I hate sprint weekend is I get so lost in the schedule. I don't know what.
So critical thing, and I know that this schedule will probably not be very pleasant for the two of you. So you need to at least watch highlights.
I'll make it.
Sprint qualifying.
I watched the replays. I watched the full replay.
Okay, sprint qualifying is at 9:30 y'all's time.
Okay, that's
The
fine.
sprint is at 5 a.m. y'all's time.
What the fuck?
Qualifying is at 9 a.m. y'all's time.
Great.
And the
Okay.
race is at 8 a.m. y'all's time.
And I can do.
I can still work with that.
Funny thing is, this weekend I woke up. I set my alarm. I was like 7:30. I was trying to see if I could go to church. I didn't go. God forgive me. But I woke up 7:30. I was like, great, got enough time. I went back to bed. I woke up. I was like, shoot, turn on and they already started the race. I was still on lap. It was still lap 1, but I was like, I woke up early, and I still managed to miss the beginning of the race. So I actually originally I missed the whole Lando, because when I turned on the race, George was already
ahead.
Yeah, he was already ahead of him. So
yeah. Well, hopefully next weekend treats us well. Hopefully we all get to have enjoyment.
Mercedes, no longer sabotaging, and we're on a new road.
Sabotaging our boy.
Yeah.
But we'll see if they keep up the good behavior next week.
He looks like he could be. It looks like he may be. I don't want to jinx him, but he's looking like he could.
He's looking like he's looking.
He can get back on his streak that he used to
Second in Austria, win in Silverstone.
There's nothing.
It's on a trajectory.
Win any other race, I would love if that would happen.
He needs to win in Silverstone so we can pull back out the British flag out of the car.
I mean, I'm not doing that, but whatever.
No, not us. Him.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Not us. We are not flying the British flag.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would love to see that, and I think that would make him so happy.
It would make him very happy.
So yeah, we're rooting for him. We can't wait to see it. Stay on that upward trajectory, Lewis, and stay on your P's and Q's and acting right, Mercedes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, well, bye, listeners, and bye, ladies.
Bye.